Good morning. This is Johnny again. It's Thursday, September 7th. Another beautiful morning here on the Big Island. A few clouds today, but it's utterly still. And as usual, it just feels really good to be here. I had a certain event happen last week that really was kind of important to me, and that was the death of Jimmy Buffett. I first became aware of Jimmy Buffett in the mid-70s, and during that time, that's when I was, finishing up college and, starting my first company and starting my family. And I don't know, it was just a really special time. And I've always sort of lived to a musical soundtrack, I guess. And at that time, when I think back on all these decisions that I made and all that, it was all with Jimmy Buffett, playing in the background. And I don't know, I've listened to his music and played his music. I actually played the guitar for many years, and it just became kind of a big part of my life and sort of instilled in me the desire to someday move to an island and sit underneath a coconut tree and watch the world go by. I never thought that would all come to pass, but it did. And looking back on it, I really think that at least some of the impetus for me doing what I've done came from the music of Jimmy Buffett. Also, on a personal level, a couple of things. I saw Jimmy Buffett one time at the Shoreline Amphitheater in the Bay Area, and I didn't realize the all of the followings and so on he had with all the parrot heads, and it was really a good time. But I was struck by how he talked to the crowd, and he said something along the lines that, I can't stand up here and look at all this and be part of this without remembering, years ago when he started, and one of the places that he used to play, was like bars and so on in the Bay Area. He's mostly in Florida, but he named some of the local, smaller music venues and bars he used to play at, and I thought that was pretty cool. It showed him being, like a regular guy, and not really full of himself. And then, for example, when one of my daughters got married over here in Hawaii, and the father of the bride gets to take the first dance with the bride, we did that to a Jimmy Buffett song that I'd always, sung to her, and so on. And then another kind of more humorous story was, about a decade ago, I went to Beijing, China to a luxury property show, and I was over there trying to sell Hawaiian properties. And the show was at the Ritz, and I was staying at the Ritz in Beijing, and across the street was where I would eat lunch, because they had American fast food places in the basement of this shopping center. And also, there was a subway exit that led out right in the basement of that shopping center. And so one day I was walking along, and I was dressed like I am right now. I was selling Aloha, right? And I was going to lunch, and all of a sudden, this young Chinese guy, just jumped in front of me and poked me in the chest. And he says, "You Jimmy Buffett?" And I looked at him, and kind of struck me, and then I thought, I'll play along. I said, "Yeah, I'm Jimmy Buffett." And he started pointing at me and yelling, "Jimmy Buffett, Jimmy Buffett." And pretty soon I had a small crowd of people around me, and I was signing autographs as Jimmy Buffett in Beijing, China, which, kind of indicates the sort of worldwide presence that he had. I mean, who would expect that? Some kid come up in Beijing and think I was Jimmy Buffett. So anyway, I got a kick out of that. So, Jimmy, rest in peace, and maybe I'll see you up there in the Margaritaville of heaven or something someday. Aloha from the Big Island.